want to worry about is when I'm working on this is my shapes. Let me zoom in a little bit, and you probably already know this, but of course all the shapes we're going to use are going to be in here: the rectangle, the ellipse, and the Polygon Tool, really, for the triangle. So I'm going to just click on that and tear that off, save myself some time. I already imagined myself using a lot of triangles, so I'm going to click here and grab the Polygon Tool. And I'm going to click once, I'm not mousing down, and I'm going to shift and get that. So I've got my perfect triangle, and I'm going to give it a fill. And I think I like the idea of like a blood red or something really dark red. I don't think I want to stroke it all. That depends on your design, obviously. Now, if I hit the selection tool, what you should see when you click on your shape is something called a bounding box. It looks like this, and what it allows you to do is manipulate your shape. You can stretch it out, you can resize it, anything you want. You can, of course, rotate it, so I can rotate it this way or whatever. And I do want to rotate it. Now, what you can also do is, if you grab the direct selection tool, you can, mess with it and make it a less than perfect triangle. So just by doing that, I can, if I click on an anchor point, so you see this one's dark and the other ones are light and light. That means I'm going to manipulate just this one, and that creates that. And already that's exactly what I want. That looks pretty good. Just be aware, if you don't see this bounding box around here, just go to View, Show Bounding Box. So right now it has Hide Bounding Box, so if I click, I get that, and I don't want that because I want to be able to manipulate this. So again, View, Show Bounding Box. Make sure that's selected. And another little trick is if I hold down the Option key, I can get multiple copies of this. So if I want a lot of triangles to work with, I can. Now here's the problem. As I'm working on this, I'm having trouble seeing what's going on below. So let me show you how to set this up. I'm going to go to my layers, and where are my layers? Here they are. And everything's on one layer, which doesn't seem like such a big deal, but what if I accidentally click here and I move this over? Everything becomes misregistered. So, little trick. Make a new layer. Put all of your shapes on that layer. Lock the layer that has your reference photo on it so that you can't accidentally move it around. And then the other thing I would recommend you do is you could take all these and you can reduce the opacity of them, maybe down to like 40%. So you see I can still see them, but now, I think that's a little bit too dark. But now if I'm still trying to be able to see the bird, I'm able to see the bird, so I can kind of figure out what it is that I want to do with these on top of this. Of course I can always change this around later. So I can take this and move this accordingly, rotate things, the way I want them to be rotated, so it just looks better. And layer order, of course, is going to matter too. So for example, like now if I grab the ellipse tool and stretch out an ellipse, and maybe I'll make it another color red, yeah, something dark like that looks good, and I rotate this, and that's like the bird's body. And again, I can't see where this is on the bird, so just reduce your opacity. Yeah, there we go. It's easier. And you have to think about this in terms of many sections. So like this might be for the bird's body, but then I'm going to make another one, and that's going to be for the bird's head. And maybe I'll make that like a little bit darker even, right there. And bring this over here. And then resize it to fit that area. Let's see what that looks like so far. So that's what I have. Now keep in mind everything's not opaque, so if I bring that up, I mean it's not looking very good so far, but I'm going to play around with that. So I just want you to think about some options here as you're working and how to make your workflow work better. So definitely reduce the opacity a little bit so you can see the original shape underneath.